Calling all cars, a copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, broadcast 195 regarding a dead body in an apartment at 834 East 6th Street. Maybe a murder. That's all. Rosencliff.
Times have changed since Grandpa was a boy. He used to walk 4 miles to school, play mumbly peg on the front lawn of a Sunday afternoon, read about posses pursuing highway robbers on horseback, and dream of the day when he could help pull the hose cart as a member of the volunteer fire department. Those days are gone forever. For as we all know nowadays, criminals are caught with a new kind of horsepower, and fire engines speed to fires with equipment that is geared to the demands of this modern age. They must get there as fast and as sure as the wings of up-to-the-minute motors can take them. And that's why it's so vitally important that those motors be powered with an up-to-the-minute fuel. That's why Rio Grande cracked gasoline is the specified favorite in more than 30 leading cities and counties of California. It explains why Rio Grande cracked is carried in the gas tanks of more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment wherever it is sold than any other brand. It's because authorities have found in this truly superior fuel the split-second starting, lightning-like acceleration, economical mileage, and the all-important reserve power and speed which they demand and get in Rio Grande cracked gasoline. And so if you want police car performance for your car, and who doesn't, wheel in at the first Rio Grande station you see on the way to work tomorrow morning. It will give you a surer, faster, and longer run for your money. We are happy to again present Chief of Police James E. Davis. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. Your police department are going Hollywood, but only to the extent that they are now utilizing the sound camera for the purposes of recording evidence. It is the practice of skilled investigators to reenact the scenes of major crimes, and often enactment is participated in by the defendant in the case. Frequently, the defendant denies his actions and statements in court. With a sound camera, the prosecution is in a position to refute such denials and present to the court and jury actual photographs and recorded statements made by the defendant during the investigation. Such evidence is of material value in securing the conviction of persons who, by their actions, have proved themselves menaces to society. You, the citizens of California, may take pride in the progress of your departments. The police are eager to experiment with and adopt any proved successful modern means of police technique.
Patrick McManus had one all-consuming passion, money. He craved money because it would pay for whiskey, and whiskey would drown the fears that beclouded his aging mind. When he had money, he bought whiskey, and when he drank whiskey, he forgot about the men who persecuted him. Men who wanted him out of the way so they could force his wife to give them her property. That property was his. No one had a right to it but him. No one must get to his wife and get that property away from her. He must guard her. He must keep them away.
That'll keep them out. That'll keep them out. It'll keep them out, yeah. It'll keep them out. Got to keep them away. Got to keep them away. She mustn't see him. And they mustn't see her.
Is that you, Patrick?
Oh, yes, dear, yes, I'm home, I'm home.
I'm so glad.
I'm home.
I've been so lonesome.
Oh, they've been here, yes, they've been here, they've seen her, they've got her just side. I'll kill him.
Patrick,
yes.
Don't stand there mumbling.
No.
Come on in here.
I'll kill him. Yes, dear, yes, I'm coming.
Mine, you were gone a long time.
Oh, yes.
Did you get the whiskey?
Yes, I did. Here, I got it. Do you want a wee bit of a toddy now?
Yes. If you don't mind fixing it for me.
No, of course I don't mind. Were they here when I was gone?
Was who here?
Oh, you know who I mean.
No one has been here tonight.
Where's the money I left on the dresser?
It's still there, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's not. No, you know it's not. Why do you antagonize me like this? You know they're after me. They're after me.
No,
Yes, they are.
Patrick.
They are.
No one's going
Oh,
to
they
hurt
are.
you.
They are.
Nobody's going to hurt either.
Oh,
of
what
us.
do you know about it?
You've been drinking
I
too
have
much
not. I
lately,
have not.
dear.
I haven't.
Why don't you
Oh,
stop?
there you go, nagging at me. You're nagging at me, and it's got to stop.
There, dear. Don't get excited. Drink your toddy.
Yes,
You'll feel better.
Yes, I'll feel better. Yes, I'll feel better. I'll feel better.
Patrick, don't mutter.
Oh, don't tell me what to do. I'm sorry, dear. I'm jumpy tonight. I'm just jumpy. I'm jumpy.
Did you write that new will today, Patrick?
Huh?
The one I asked you to?
Yes, I wrote it, yes.
Where is it,
Well,
dear? I want to sign
it's
it.
in my coat. Well, I'll get it.
Bring the pen with you, too.
Yes. Bring the pen. Yes, I'll bring the pen. I'll bring the will, too. The will. Yes, that's it. I won't be able to get the property now. It'll be mine, and they'll keep away from her now. Here it is, my dear. Here it is. All ready for you to sign. Here's the pin.
Read it to me first, Patrick.
Read it. Yes, read it. Yes. We hereby give to the Communist Party all our property and money in case of our death. Yes. If I, Josephine McManus, die before my husband, he is to have all of my property and money. And if I, Patrick McManus, die first, all the property is to belong to my wife. My wife. That's it.
Anna said she might come over tonight.
Anna, she been around here again.
Why, don't you like Anna, dear?
She's after your money.
Oh, that's nonsense.
That's not anything of the kind.
Anna has plenty.
She has not.
She doesn't
But I don't
need
care.
our money.
I don't care. She won't get it anyway.
After all, Patrick, she is my sister's daughter.
Your sister.
It wouldn't hurt us to let her have some of the
Well,
property.
she shan't have a cent. Not 1 cent. That's mine. It's mine. Every red cent.
Yes,
Well, it's ours.
dear. I know.
Yes, it is.
Shall we go to bed now?
Well, you go. I want to read a while. Yes, I'm going to read a while.
All right.
All right.
Will you help me,
Why,
Patrick?
certainly. Easy now. Easy does it.
Now, where's my crutch?
Oh, well, for you.
Oh, here it is.
Yes, there it is.
Now,
Yes, easy now. Easy there. Are you all right now?
I'll be all right, dear.
All
I
right.
do wish they hadn't taken my other crutch.
Your other crutch. Oh, yes. Your other crutch, yes.
I miss going out like I used to. When I had the other crutch, it wasn't so difficult to go downstairs.
Yes, dear, downstairs, the neighbors. Anna.
What did you say, dear?
Oh, nothing. I was only thinking, just thinking, that's all.
Patrick McManus sat by the window, watching the fog eddy behind the speeding automobiles as the traffic gradually dwindled to a thin procession. He was thinking.
It's mine now, it's mine. If I die first, but I won't die first. I won't die. Maybe she... That's it. She'll die first. She'll die. And I'll be safe. I'll be safe.
Through the thickening fogs of his miasmic fears, Patrick McManus considered his situation, laid plans, and out of the crumbling wreckage of his mind built barriers round his cowering soul.
I'll show them. I'll teach them a trick or two or three, maybe. I'll get the money. I'll get all of it. Nobody else will get it. I'll do it tonight with my hands, with my knees, with my feet. I'll do it tonight. Now!
On the morning of February 10th, 1937, Patrick McManus, the cold light of sanity back in his gray eyes, but tense and excited, rushed into the drugstore at 5th and Glad Streets.
Good morning, Mr. McManus. Why, what's wrong?
Well, my wife, she's dead.
What?
Yes, she's dead.
Well, when did it happen?
Well, during the night, I don't know when now. When I woke up...
well, hadn't we better call the police?
The police, yes. Oh, the police? No, an undertaker. No, that's it, an undertaker.
Yes, and they can call the police
That's
later.
Right. No, there's no need to call the police. No, she was old.
Of course.
She was
have you any preferences to funeral directors?
No. Anyone will do. She was old. She was...
here's one.
She was
just
terrible.
a moment.
Yes, she was terrible old. But she was the 84 next March. I don't know what it was. St. Patrick's Day or what it was. The 10th of March, that's what it was. Yes,
I'm calling for a Mr. McManus.
Yes,
His wife
sir,
passed
Mr.
away
Manus.
last night at...
Yes.
What's your address, Mr. McManus?
So the address is... it's 834 East 6th Street, it is.
At 834 East 6th
That's
Street.
right. Tell them to hurry.
The stupefying powers of the liquor he had drunk were fading, and the overpowering fears of Patrick McManus came back in all their hideous force. At last he gained the sanctuary of his own home, flung open the door, raced up the stairs, and stopped trembling inside his room.
Oh, but I hear them. I hear them. But they won't get me. No, they won't get the money. The money. She's gone. She is gone. They won't find her. No, they won't find her. Find her!
Though accustomed to sights of violence, the mortician's assistants recoiled in horror from the sight that awaited them in the home of Patrick McManus. Hastily, they summoned the police.
Mr. McManus?
Yes, sir.
I'm Lieutenant Filkus, Homicide Squad. This is Lieutenant Baker.
Oh, yes. Won't you come in?
Thanks.
Acts funny, doesn't he?
I better keep your eye on him.
Well, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Why, we got a call from Dorr Brothers, the undertakers.
Oh.
That there was a case over here that needed investigating.
Oh, no, sir. There's nothing wrong here at all.
I understand your wife passed away during the
Oh,
night.
yes, sir. The poor soul. She was 84 years old. Come next March the 10th. She was...
Must have been pretty feeble, wasn't
Oh, she was that way. For the past 5 years, she had been able to walk. Leastwise, not without her crutches. And then the black-hearted ones, they come and they stole them.
Somebody stole her crutches?
Well, at least one of them. But she still had the other one last night when the man come back.
Now, just wait a minute.
Yes?
Let's get this straight. Somebody came in here and stole a crutch.
That's right, yes, sir.
When was that?
Well, it was about 6 weeks ago it was.
Did he get anything else?
Well, no, not at that time he didn't.
Did he at any other time?
Well, last night he got all my money.
How much was that?
That was $15, all I had.
How did that happen? Stick up?
Well, it was about 8 o'clock, I think it was, and I decided that I needed a wee little drop of the creature, a toddy, you know. And I went down to the drugstore and I got me a bottle of...
Mm-hmm. Did you have the money with you?
No, I'd been afraid I'd been held up, so I threw the money on the bureau there.
It was there when you left?
Yes, sir.
How much?
Well, as I said, about $15.
Didn't you take it with you?
Well, any of it? Well, no, sir. Well, yes, I took maybe, a little bit, $5 or something.
And when you got back, the money was gone?
Yes, sir, that's right, yes.
Where was your wife all this time?
She was in the room there, this room here, yes, lying on the couch there.
Didn't she see who took the money?
Oh, yes. When I came in, she said, oh, they came and they took the money. She was all excited, yes, she was.
What did you say to that?
Well, I said, oh, no, that's all right, dear. I said, sure, we got enough to live. What little time we got left to live.
What do you mean by that?
Well, sure, we're both old and we didn't have much time left.
Did this man, this burglar, did he molest your wife in any way?
Oh, sure, yes. He choked her, he blacked both her eyes.
Did you notify the police?
No, sir, no.
Why not?
Well, I've been threatened several times, and when we've missed a few things out of the house from time to time, we were just afraid to report it.
Have you ever been in jail, McManus?
What?
Have you ever been in jail?
Oh, me? No, never, sir, never.
Then that wasn't your reason for not reporting those thefts to the police.
Oh, no, sir, I swear it.
Okay. Now, after your wife told you these men, or this man, had beat her up, had taken the money, what did you do?
Well, I looked around to see if I could find the money, but when I couldn't, well, I went out and I fixed a toddy for my wife and myself. And
did you get drunk?
Drunk? No, I don't drink that much.
Did your wife get drunk?
Oh, no.
Well, what did you do after that?
Well, we sat around till about 9:30 and we read the paper.
Did you go to bed first?
Well, no, my wife went to bed first.
How long before you went to bed?
About 15 minutes.
Was your wife all right then?
Well, sure she was. Well, she said she didn't feel well, but she seemed to be all right.
Was she bleeding from any cuts or anything like that?
Oh, no. She seemed to be all right.
Did she walk to the bedroom by herself?
Yes, with her crutch.
I believe you said the other one was stolen.
Yes.
About how long ago?
6 weeks.
How many bills did you leave on the bureau?
$5 and a $10 bill.
I see. They were gone when you got back.
Yes, sir, that's right.
And that was all the money you had, the $5 and the $10 bill?
Well, yeah, no, I had...
Beside what you had in your pocket,
yes.
the change from the $5 you took to the drugstore. Is that right?
Well, yes, that's right, yes, sir.
Do you believe that somebody broke in and stole that money?
Well, no, to tell you the truth, no.
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes my wife had ideas that people were trying to kill her.
Hallucinations, huh?
Well, whatever you call them, the same. She would imagine things.
Then how do you account for the money being gone?
Well, now that I don't know.
But weren't her eyes black and her throat showed signs of being choked?
I never noticed that.
Didn't you just tell me that the man beat her up?
Oh, man, dear and alive, that was what she told me. I saw no marks like that. No, sir, I did not know.
What time did you say you went to bed?
Well, about 9:30.
You sat around reading from the time you got back from the drugstore until you went to bed.
Yes, sir.
Your wife was here all that time.
That's right, sir. Yes, sir.
After you went to bed, did anything unusual happen?
Well, along about midnight, I was awakened by my wife falling out of the bed. I got up and I switched on the light.
Was she hurt any?
Well, not that I could see. I picked her up and I says to her, dear, should I go for a doctor? And she said no, she was all right. So I went back to bed.
Did you go right to sleep?
Well, in a few minutes I did.
Did anything else happen that night that was last night, wasn't it?
Yes, that was last night, yes, sir. But along about dawn this morning, would you believe it, my wife went out to bed again.
Did you get up again?
Sure I did. I got up and I put her back to bed. And I says to her, now, dear, I'm going to get a doctor right now. And she said not to do it. No, that should be all right.
Was she all right?
Well, I don't exactly get that.
I mean, did you see any bruises or blood when you put her back in bed?
Oh, no, nothing at all. No, she seemed to be perfectly all right.
Did she hurt herself in any way?
Not that I could see. I straightened out her legs and I tucked her feet in and I put her pillow under the edge of the tick, the mattress there, so she wouldn't roll out again.
Then did you go back to bed?
Yes, and I did. I went to sleep then.
When did you wake up?
Well, I should say about 7:30 or 8 o'clock.
Notice anything wrong then?
Well, I said to my wife, I said, well, dear, how do you feel this morning, darling? The top of the morning here, we always say that, you know, whichever one of us wakes up first. And she didn't say a thing. So I put my hand on her shoulder, and she was cold.
Cold?
Well, she was almost cold. And I felt of her feet, and they was cold. I took hold of her hand, and I felt her pulsing. She was dead.
Then what did you do?
Well, I slipped on my pants, and I ran down to the drugstore, and I told the druggist man to phone for the police.
Why the police?
Well, I didn't know what else to do.
Did he do that?
No, he did not. He phoned for the undertaker, and he said they'd call the police.
I see. Mr. McManus, how do you sleep?
Pretty good.
Do you wear pajamas or nightshirt or what?
Well, now, ordinarily, I sleep in a nightshirt. But one of my shirts is in the laundry, and the other one's dirty. I forgot to get the laundry.
You send your clothes to a laundry
Yes,
close
sir.
by,
Yes,
of course.
sir. Well, sure, the laundry's got a branch near the corner. You drop the button in the chute and go right into the door.
I know. When did you send your laundry?
Well, I sent it sometime around the first of the month, or the fourth, or the fifth, or something, I believe.
Hey, Baker, what'd you find?
Plenty. Come here a minute.
Excuse me a minute, Mr. McManus.
Sure,
Be right back.
Yes, sir, that's right.
What's up, Bill?
Take a look.
Jumping Jesus. Who did that?
I've a sneaking hunch that your Patty friend out there.
Why, that old coot, he couldn't do a thing like that.
Well, somebody did.
Say, this woman's been dead longer than since this morning.
You're telling me. Say, I've found enough evidence around here to hang 4 guys.
Oh, let's get out of here. We're going to take our pal downstairs to headquarters. I want to get his story on a sound film before he decides to change it.
Did he confess?
Confess my eye. I want to get his story recorded before he does confess.
Convinced the story told by McManus was false, but equally convinced that it would sound just as ridiculous and fantastic to a jury, officers took the suspect to the Crime Investigation Laboratory. And preparations were made to photograph and record in sound the story of Patrick McManus.
Now, Mr. McManus, I'd like to ask you a few questions more about your wife.
Go right ahead, sir.
You say she wasn't able to walk without crutches?
Well, not for 5 years since she fell down the steps of the stoop there.
Well, I didn't see but one crutch when we were out at the house. Where's the other one?
They stole it. Them fellas that broke in about 6 weeks ago.
Did your wife leave a will, Mr. McManus?
She did that. We both had a will. I left everything I had to her, and she left all her property to me, if she died first.
And you expected to die first, didn't you?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
I see. How old were these wills?
Well, we made them back in, let me see, it was 1933 it was. I think it was. That was before her mind was affected.
Oh, then she wasn't of a sound mind.
Oh, no. Well, yes. I mean, ever since her sister died, she was that way.
Did your wife write these wills herself?
No. She couldn't write. Well, she wasn't able to write for, I'd say 5 years now.
I found this tablet in your bedroom. Was it the one your will was written on?
Oh, the writing tablet. Yes, that's the one, sure.
Did you use it much?
Well, yes. Oh, I wrote a good many letters.
Write any lately?
Oh, yes. Yes. Just this week I wrote to my friend in Iowa.
Mr. McManus, tests show these wills were written less than a week ago.
Oh, yes?
Now, I wonder if you'd mind telling us your story again.
Wait, sure.
Just as you told us out at your house.
Well, I wouldn't mind it at all, John. As I said, they went out about 8:30 last night.
So Patrick McManus told his story again, prompted now and then by Lieutenants Philkus and Baker. The story was recorded and photographed by a sound camera to be introduced in court later as evidence. Then, in company with Ray Pinker and others of the crime laboratory, the detectives returned to the McManus apartment.
Are you sure the old man killed his wife?
Just as sure as I am that I'm standing here.
How do you figure?
He told us he went to the drugstore last night. Came back here and found his wife beaten up by burglars. He had her doing everything but dancing before she went to bed.
Maybe his story's true.
And you didn't see the coroner's report?
No, what did it give?
According to the autopsy surgeon, Mrs. McManus died within 10 minutes from the time she received a terrific beating.
Well, I thought she died this morning.
She's been dead at least 36 hours when the undertaker was called. Okay. Let's get started on this place. Baker, you take this room, I'll take the bedroom.
Oh, I suppose I twiddled my thumbs, huh?
No, you come on in here with me and twiddle them.
Well, what do you expect to find?
A nightshirt.
Oh, nightshirt.
A nightshirt.
Oh, then I take it you don't believe the robbery story.
Pinker, at times you amaze me with your perception of the obvious. Of course I don't believe it.
And what do you expect to find on said nightshirt?
Blood.
Oh, blood.
Yeah, another job for you.
Hey, Joe, come here.
Looks like Baker's got something treed again.
Say, take a look at this.
A nightshirt.
A bloody nightshirt, Mr. Focus.
Thank you, Mr. Pinker. Where'd you find it, Bill?
Stuffed up on top of a ledge back of the portieres in the next room.
Exhibit A, Pinker. Think that's human blood?
Well, looks like it.
Looks like it. Nuts, it is.
Let's see, maybe I'm on the wrong case. Looks like you don't need a chemist.
Find anything else, Bill?
Yeah, this copy of the Evening News.
Where'd you find that?
Back of that washstand.
February 8th, 1937. 8 persons injured and speak.
Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
What's this smear on the back page?
Looks like blood.
I'd say it was blood.
Now, look out, Ray. You're making a definite statement.
Now, listen, Cop. If you'd seen as many cases as I have and blow up because of hasty statements, you'd be cautious, too.
Better be careful, Baker. Pinker's getting sensitive.
Well, nevertheless, this is blood.
And the paper is dated the 8th.
And it's the paper McManus said he was reading.
And the autopsy surgeon says Mrs. McManus was killed on the 8th.
Say, how about the time element in McManus' story?
Well, that's what made me suspicious in the first place. He said he jumped out of bed this morning, ran down to the drugstore.
And had the druggist call the undertaker.
At about 8:30. As a matter of fact, the undertakers didn't get the message until 12:40.
And we got their call at 1:20.
Well, looks like McManus' story is full of holes.
It looks that way.
Say, come over here and help me move this washstand. Let's see what's behind it.
Okay.
I thought so.
What now?
Here's that other crutch.
This is beginning to look screwy.
Did you examine the bed for bloodstains?
Yeah, lots of them there.
I still don't think she was killed there, though.
Yeah, probably not.
Did the old man say something about a couch?
That's it. Let's take a look. I expected that.
Yep, you're right. That's where the job was done.
Let's take a look at the rest of this place. I've looked over all these rooms up here. They're all furnished, but haven't been occupied.
How many rooms on the bottom floor?
Looks like it's the same as the upstairs portion.
Any furniture in them?
No, all empty. Here, let's try this one first.
Hey, here's a new set of footprints in the dust.
Are they McManus's?
Joe's off again, Bill.
Yeah, so I see.
Well, you ought to be able to tell that much.
Oh, come on. Forget it and get busy.
Now, here's just... Oh, this is just what the doctor ordered, boys.
What'd you find?
One $10 bill and a 5.
That's the money McManus is supposed to have lost.
That's right. So let's wend our weary way back to the headquarters and tell our story to the district attorney.
Complaints were issued, and Patrick McManus was brought before the grand jury. He is questioned. The sound film of his confession is exhibited. Finally, Lieutenant Philkus is called to testify.
Lieutenant Philkus, I want you to tell the jury what you found out when you investigated further in this case. Did you find any bloodstains?
Besides the bloodstains on the bed, we found several large stains on the couch in the sewing room.
Was that where Mrs. McManus was when the attack occurred?
Yes, sir. I also checked the laundry and talked to Clara Snow, the girl who handled the bundle after it came into the laundry. She told me...
Yes, sir. This bundle came to us from our agent on 6th Street.
What time did it get here?
Well, I don't know. But I got it on the morning of the 9th.
Have you any way of knowing when it was placed in the box on 6th Street?
Well, ordinarily I wouldn't. But this bundle was so peculiar that I checked up.
What do you mean, peculiar?
Well, in the first place, it was wet, and it had some blood-stained clothes in it.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, yes, sir. You see, when I got the bundle and saw how it was, well, I took it to Miss Crane.
Who's she?
She's in charge of my department.
What did she do with it?
She took it to Miss Gaines.
Who's Miss Gaines?
She's the head marker.
I suppose she took it to somebody else.
Oh, yes, sir. She took it to Mr. Myrick, the manager.
And I suppose he didn't have anybody to take it to.
No, sir. Well, as I said, we found out the bundle had been put in the slot at the 6th Street agency at about 11 o'clock on the night of the 8th.
That checks. So you got the bundle on the morning of the 9th.
Uh-huh.
You're sure it wasn't the morning of the 10th, today?
No, sir. It was yesterday morning.
It couldn't have been earlier in the week, could it?
No, sir. I'm positive it was yesterday morning.
Okay, thanks. Your suspicions have been extremely valuable to us. I had Jones and Tinker's department make tests of the clothing that I got from the laundry, and they showed blood reactions.
Had they been washed before being taken to the laundry?
Some of them had been washed with some chemical to remove the blood, but it only turned the cloth to a tan color.
Thank you. That's all, Lieutenant. That's our case, ladies and gentlemen.
The jury will retire.
Well, Joe, you think McManus is insane?
Insane? Say, that guy's so crazy he couldn't pour water out of a boot with the directions on the heel. Would you believe it? The last time I saw him, he said to me...
Yes, there's the little folks, and then there's the fairies, and the fairies is the best, though. Oh, there's a pretty little green fairy, and she helps me a lot. She looks after my dog, and she combs my hair with a frying pan. And she's pretty, too. Oh, but she's only got one crutch. She's only got one crutch, me dear, and St. Patrick's Day in the morning. Parades and fishes are very good dishes.
Just
St.
plain
Patrick's
nuts.
Day in the morning.
A well-known rhyme has been paraphrased to read something like this. It's easy enough to look pleasant when life rolls along like a song. But the oil worthwhile is the oil that can smile when everything goes dead wrong. Some motor oils are a bit like some humans you may know, always sponging and posing as your friend so long as your money lasts. But let the going get a little tough and call on them to do their share, and they let you down. Sinclair Motor Oils are more than fair weather friends. They're on the job all the time. No adverse conditions are able to weaken their resistance to wear and tear. Searing hot weather? It means nothing to stout-hearted Sinclair oils. And where other inferior oils groan and complain at high rates of speed, Sinclair Motor Oils laugh it off and come through with flying colors. You see, they do not break down under the stress of great heat or high speed because only they are conditioned for such grueling tests by a patented Sinclair process which completely removes petroleum jelly and wax. And so it's quite natural that millions of motorists throughout 45 nations of the world have sworn allegiance to this never-say-die lubricant. Sinclair Motor Oils have the exclusive friendship of 8 major airlines, 150 railroads, and fleets of ships that sail the often stormy seas. You, too, may join this automotive League of Nations. Sinclairize for safety. The dues are only 25 cents a quart for Sinclair Opaline, receivable at your nearest Rio Grande station, where you also sign up for police car performance with Rio Grande cracked gasoline.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, a cancellation broadcast 195 regarding a murder at 834 East 6th Street. Suspects in this case were sent to the Mendocino Hospital. That's all. Rosenquist.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande. Calling all cars. A copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
Pasadena Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 196. Be on the lookout for a man described as American, smooth-shaven, about 5 feet 7 inches, 140 pounds. Wore a gray suit and cap, carried a blue steel automatic, a black briefcase. That's all.
The courage of law enforcement officers lies at the very root of every solved crime, the capture of every criminal, as you have heard portrayed on each Calling All Cars program. We honor the officers involved for their unswerving allegiance to duty, their perseverance, and their forthright bravery under fire. Likewise, we take no little pride in the fact that Rio Grande cracked gasoline has been chosen to go with these officers on every hazardous crusade against crime. In fact, Rio Grande cracked powers more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency equipment wherever this finer fuel is sold than any other brand. More than 30 leading cities and counties in California specify its use, and last year powered exclusively with this qualified for emergency fuel. Their emergency equipment sped over more than 55 million miles of California highway. They selected Rio Grande cracked gasoline because they found it possessed of all the qualities which they demanded, all rolled into one. Trigger-like starting, machine gun acceleration, long-range economical mileage, a wealth of reserve power, and greater speed. Enjoy police car performance in your own car. It costs no more. Drive into your nearest Rio Grande dealer tomorrow morning. If your tank gauge reads near zero, pull in tonight and say, "Fill her up with Rio Grande cracked. I'm treating my car from now on to the gasoline that is the ruling favorite of those who drive the most." It is our privilege tonight to present Chief C.H. Kelly of the Pasadena Police Department. Chief Kelly.
Tonight's story is one which caused a great deal of comment, and as a matter of fact raised a question in the minds of some persons as to whether the officers in the case were justified in the actions which they took. Subsequent revelations, however, and the complete identification of the suspect in the case proved conclusively that he had determined to repeat a crime which in his own mind he had successfully consummated. Irrespective of his mental attitude, the man who contemplated the crime which we hear dramatized tonight certainly found that it did not pay. Some additional facts I will reserve for you at the end of the program.
Dear, may I have a little money? We've got to pay some bills.
Money, money, money. That's all I ever hear from you. What do you do with the money I give you?
The money you give me? Since we've been here, the amount of money you've given me has been too small to keep track of.
All right. Start an argument. Let the neighbors in on it.
Well, you didn't have to jump down my throat in the first place.
I didn't jump down your throat. You know I haven't any money to give you. I've given you money every day this week.
Barely enough to buy food every day. How do you think I'm going to pay the rent and the gas bill and the light bill and all the rest of them?
How do I know? Pay them the same way you used to.
We used to have enough money for whatever we wanted. Till you started your fool gambling.
All right, throw it up to me. I was gambling as much for your sake as for mine. After all, I'm no mind reader. How was I to know we'd lose money?
I told you the proposition wasn't any good, but no. You wouldn't listen to me. You knew too much. You had to sell good property and buy orange trees in Oregon. How in the wide world you ever figured that Oregon was a better place to raise oranges than California is more than I can see.
There's a lot you can't see. Among other things, you can't see that you're driving me to distraction with your eternal nagging about money, about bills, about orange trees. All right, I made a mistake. I lost $50,000. So what? What's to be done about it now?
Nothing's to be done about that. But you're going to have to do something about the rent.
Here's $5. That's all I've got. See what you can do with it.
But what are you going to do? You have to have lunch money.
Never mind about me. I'll get along. I'll eat oranges.
Oh, Harry, why are we doing this? What's the use of adding to our troubles by fighting?
Well, it wasn't my idea.
I know it. I'm sorry. I always seem to start things, but I've been so worried.
I know it. Do you think it's easy for me, sitting here day after day, watching what little we have dwindle away, selling first one thing, then another, merely to get enough to eat on? Oh, I'm sick of it.
Something will turn up, Harry. I know it will.
Yes. What?
Well, we'll find some way to get work, Harry. Things can't always stay this way.
And in the meantime, what do we use for food?
We could go on relief.
Not while I've got my health and strength. I won't do it.
Well, other men have.
Yeah, other men have done a lot of things, but where did it get them? I'd rather do anything than go on relief.
That's only false pride, Harry.
Pride or not, that's the way I feel about it.
In the meantime, what do we do?
I don't know. I've tried everything I know, and I've seen everybody I know. Nothing seems to be open.
If you only knew some other line of business.
But I don't. Real estate is all I know. And sometimes I doubt if I know so much about that.
Well, that puts us right back where we started from, doesn't it?
Practically.
Have you been to see Mr. Dietzler at the bank?
Half a dozen times. It's always the same answer. No.
Why not?
No security.
We still have the trees on the Oregon land.
But the bank doesn't consider them worth anything. Besides, what if we did get a loan? How would we repay it?
We're bound to get work, dear. Something has to turn up.
Try to get Dietzler to write that into a note.
Well, I suppose worrying won't do any good.
Maybe not. But I'm going to get money enough to live on if I have to steal it.
That would be a help. All we need is to have you in jail.
At least I'd know where my next meal was coming from.
I don't exactly see where I'd come in on that.
Oh, well, forget it. It was only a gag. I think I'll run downtown for a while.
Any place in particular?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I can find somebody I haven't borrowed money from.
Will you be gone long?
If I get a lead on a job, I might be out quite late. Don't wait for me if I'm not back by 5.
All right. Try not to worry, dear. Promise?
That's like asking it not to rain when it's already storming.
We've both got to be more cheerful, Harry.
I know it. After all, it doesn't do any good to go around with your inside showing.
You've sort of let this depression get you down, and you know you mustn't.
That's easier said than done.
Oh, I know it. But you aren't licked. We withstood lots of things that were tougher than this.
All right, Pollyanna. We'll see what can be done about the more abundant life.
Oh, that's better. Now smile.
Oh, rubbish.
Come on. Smile. Bigger. Come on, bigger. That's better.
You wouldn't kid me, would you, lady?
Now laugh, Harry. Laugh.
At 8:30 on a crisp, cold morning in March, manager George Dietzler let himself into the Colorado Mentor branch of the Bank of America in Pasadena. As he turned from the door, he found himself looking into the muzzle of an automatic pistol held in the hand of a cool, calculating, masked bandit.
Just keep going the way you were, and you won't get hurt.
Be careful with that gun. It might go off.
Not unless you try to get funny.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to tie you up until Joe Cap gets here.
Say, who are you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You seem to know Joe pretty well.
Almost as well as I do you, George. Come on, get going. This is okay. Right here. Sit down.
Hey, that wire's too tight.
You will get used to it. Let's have your hands. Put them behind you.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
I wouldn't be surprised. I've been there.
Must have been 2 other fellows.
Be quiet. Here comes Cap. All right, Cap. Just put up your hands and come on in.
Who are you?
You and George asked the most original questions.
Is this a stick-up?
How did you guess it?
Well, you've got a gun in a...
And I'll use the gun if you don't. Do as you're told. Sit down.
Okay.
Put your hands behind you.
Not so tight.
Who's doing this?
Yeah, but that wire's cutting my wrist.
That's all right. You won't be here long.
You're not going to shoot us?
You never can tell. I might get nervous. Now stick your feet out.
Be careful of my socks.
I'll send you a new pair.
You're thinking of going somewhere?
Yes, just as soon as I get your keys and get into that vault. The alarm is off by now. Now, Mr. Dietzler, if you'll come with me, after I untie you, we'll get to this money business.
I don't know who you are, fellow, but I'll know you if I ever see you again.
Well, we'll see about that, too. I'll be back someday.
And I'll call a cop if you do.
You wouldn't want me to hurt a cop, would you?
That's your affair.
Calmly, the bandit scooped up some $4,000 in small bills, ignoring the larger and recorded denominations as well as negotiable bonds. He retied the manager and, smiling broadly, sauntered out of the bank. Other employees of the bank arriving for their day's work discovered the trust manager and the teller. Frantic telephone calls brought police investigators to the bank.
You say the man was in the bank when you came in this morning?
Yes, he was standing right inside the door.
And how do you think he got in?
You've got me there.
Look, O'Rourke, up there. I think that's your answer.
That trapdoor in the ceiling. Where does that lead to, Mr. Diesler?
To the attic.
And then to the roof. That's it, Norton. Let's work backward and see where this baby came from. Got a ladder around here?
Well, you won't need one. There's a stairway in the back of the building. There's a padlock on the door.
Got the key?
Oh, yes.
Well, let's be getting up there then.
Been a long time since anyone has been up here.
Looks to me like somebody was up here last night.
I mean, anybody connected with the bank. There we are.
It's dark enough in here. Where's your flashlight, Norton?
In the car.
That's a good place for it.
Why don't you use your own? You've got it in your coat pocket.
Huh? Oh.
There's something on the floor over there.
Cigarette butts. Oh, wait a minute. This looks like blood on some of these cigarettes.
Now, come to think about it, the fellow did have a cut on his hand. The right hand, I believe.
Say, Mr. Diesler, you say he tied you two fellas up with wire?
Yes.
Well, here's a coil of wire, some tin snips, a piece of rope, and a hammer.
Here's a crowbar. Guess he used it to get the trap door up.
Ought to be able to get enough fingerprints off this stuff.
A lot of good that'll do if the bird hasn't got a record.
Apparently he got in through that hatch cover from the roof there. Hey, Norton, give me a lift. I'll look around up there.
Okay. Up you go. Steady. Yeah. You all set?
Yeah. Come on, give me your hand.
Yeah.
Hey, do a little work yourself. What do you think I am?
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you think our man came from?
I bet money he came across from that two-story building over there.
Looks like he might have crawled out of that little window. Must be a washroom.
Look, here on the firewall. There's a footprint.
Well, that wall borders the air shaft.
That's a cigar store down there. He wasn't trying to break in there.
How do you account for that skylight being broken?
I don't. Look, something on the floor down there. Looks like a pencil, a gold one.
It is. There's a pen, too. See it? Just over to the right of that box there.
Yeah, we'll have to get it when we go down.
Let's go over to that washroom.
Providing we can do a catwalk on this firewall.
The hold-up artist did it. Why can't we?
Well, I still don't like the idea of falling through that skylight.
Come on, let's try it anyway. How you coming?
Okay. Well, that's that. Let's see you do it.
All right.
Watch yourself. That floor's hard.
Don't worry about me. Yeah. Now that we're over here, what do we do?
Crawl through that window and see what's inside.
You've sure got a cat-like disposition this morning.
It's probably my awakened sleuthing instincts.
If any.
Now, here's a footprint on the windowsill.
Undoubtedly, our photographer will have hysterics when he starts in on this case.
Not if you keep putting your big hand all over every available print.
Look here. A broken gin bottle. Strikes me that a good idea would be to get that pen and pencil from the cigar store downstairs and go back to headquarters and do a little checking on fingerprints and such things.
Good idea. Let's do it.
Let's tabulate our findings today.
I don't relish the task.
There's one crowbar, obviously a cheap one, one hammer, one pair of tin snips, coil of wire, length of rope, gold pen and pencil, and a broken gin bottle.
With a stamp on it.
2 stamps on it. Board of Equalization 26236 and a rubber stamp C300.
Which means less than nothing to me.
And just for luck, let's check it with the board.
Okay. By the way, here's a list of the money that bandit got from the bank.
Let's see. Well, $4,000. One old $20 bill with 2 holes punched in it. That's a cinch.
Yeah, cinch. Look, let's stop wasting time tabulating and start checking these tools.
All right. Let's start with the place nearest to us. Let's teletype these numbers on the gin bottle and try to find out where it was sold.
You do that. I've got a hunch we'll find the mate to this crowbar at Sears Roebuck. I bought one there like that once.
In which case, let's check there first.
Good morning. Trying to find out if you handle this type of crowbar.
Let's see it. Yes, we have it. Oh, did have. We're out right now.
This one is new. Looks like it was bought only a few days ago. Is there a bare chance you'd remember it?
Well, it's just a coincidence, of course. But I happen to remember that particular bar.
You're sure of that?
Why, yes. You see, there's a slight nick right here. We'd laid it aside, intending to send it back to the factory.
But a man came in and wanted to buy a short crowbar. I only had two, like the one he wanted. So I got one out of the rack and showed it to him.
Was it like this one?
Well, no. He asked me about some gloves, and we went over to the counter over there where the work gloves are displayed, and he laid down the bar.
Did he buy any gloves?
Well, no, he didn't like the ones we had down here. So we came over to the counter here. I noticed that he had left the crowbar on the other counter. I was going over to get it, but he said the other bar was all right.
That was this one.
Oh, yes, the one with the nick in it.
Did you call his attention to the nick?
Well, no. He said it was all right, so I sold it to him.
Well, look. We found this bar in the attic of a bank that had just been held up. We want to show you some pictures of robbery suspects and see if you can identify the man.
I'm sure I could if I saw him. He was about 45 or 50 years old.
Well, now, just take a look at these pictures and see if he's among them.
Let me see. No. Nope, not that one. Nope. No, that looks a little... No, I guess it doesn't. No, I don't think any of those pictures look like him. I'm sorry, but
That's all right. Now, do you remember if this man bought anything else while he was here?
Well, not from me, he didn't.
Here's a piece of wire. Do you stock any like that?
No, we don't. However, I think Montgomery Ward handles wire like that.
How do you happen to know that?
Well, I used to work there.
Well, take a look at these tin snips. Do they sell those, too?
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Well, it's worth looking into anyway.
Maybe we'd better take a run over there. Somebody there might have a better memory.
We're looking for a piece of wire like this. Do you carry it?
Yes, sir. Right over here.
We don't want to buy any. We just want to know if you remember selling any of it in the last 2 or 3 days.
Well, just a minute. I'll look back over my sales check. Let me see now. Oh, yeah. I sold 500 feet of it Monday, 3 feet on Tuesday, 3 10-foot pieces Tuesday afternoon, 40 feet of it Wednesday, and 50...
Never mind. Just forget about the whole thing.
Okay.
You don't happen to remember anybody who bought any of this wire, do you?
Oh, no. You see, I sold so much of it that I just couldn't possibly remember everybody that comes in to get anything.
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it. Pardon me. Just forget all about it, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Say, are we going to traipse all over Pasadena trying to find out who bought a piece of wire and some tin snips?
Yes, if that's necessary to find out a better description of this bandit than we're able to get from those men at the bank.
Just how do you think you're going to get that description?
Sooner or later, I'll find somebody who'll remember seeing him.
Granted. But where's the next stop?
Well, I've got a hunch that we'll find that he bought the rope at a 5 and 10.
Which has the needle in the haystack gag backed off the map.
Be that as it may, that's our next stop.
And this is the place to stop first. Here's one right here.
Good morning, miss.
Good morning, sir.
Can you tell me if you sell this kind of rope in this store?
Yes, sir. I believe we do. The girl who takes care of that counter is out today. Perhaps I can find it for you.
Okay, if you will.
Just a moment, please. I'll be right back.
So far, net result. Nothing.
Oh, stop grumbling. Rome wasn't built in a day, you know.
And we're not investigating that job.
The department manager says that this is known as Home Tie Silver Twist Clothesline. It sells for 10 cents a bundle. That's about 25 feet.
You wouldn't remember selling any of it, would you?
No, sir. You see, that's out of my department.
I see. Well, thanks for the information anyway.
You're welcome, sir.
Well, where to now?
Let's go back and see if there's any news from Sacramento on those license stamp numbers on that gin bottle. Well, here's the message.
What luck?
Says here that the Board of Equalization number can't be traced. But the smaller number, the C-300, is a liquor distributor in Los Angeles.
It ought to be easy enough to find out who he sells to in Pasadena.
Whereupon we start all over again, trying to get an identification. Oh, well, it's worth trying anyway. Let's call up the distributor.
Sergeant, get me Granite 0456. Yeah. Los Angeles. No, call me. Assuming that we get an identification of this man, how do you propose to find him?
In Pasadena? That shouldn't be so hard.
Maybe so. I have a hunch about this job.
And that is?
I have a hunch that it's going temporarily into the unsolved file.
Over my dead body.
Yeah? Oh, fine. Hello? Detective Lieutenant O'Rourke. O'Rourke. Oh, never mind. This is the Pasadena Police Department. I'm trying to trace a liquor stamp that I understand is assigned to your firm. Yeah? It's C as in cat. 300? Yeah, C. 300. All right, I'll wait. Has to look in the book to find out who handled that shipment.
Probably turned out to be somebody in Southgate.
Hello? Who? Safety Drug Company, 200 North Lake Street, Pasadena. Thanks. Well, that's a break anyway.
Seems like a good time to visit the drugstore on Lake Street.
We're from the police department. We're trying to trace a rubber stamped number. C300. That's the number on a gin shipment from Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's the number we always have on the liquor invoices. Stamped on the state license stamp, too.
Now, I realize it's asking a lot. But have you sold any of this last shipment to anyone in particular that you remember?
Well, let's see now. I don't know whether I remember all of them. You see, we've only sold about half a dozen bottles of that particular lot.
Now, look. Here are some pictures of suspects in that bank robbery job at Mentor in Colorado. Recognize any of them?
Well, let me see. No, I don't believe I ever saw any of them.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Come to think about it, the only man I distinctly remember was Mr. Linton. Yeah, he was in here just before we closed last night.
You mean the Harry Linton who used to be president of the Realty Board here?
Yeah, that's right. That's the one. I hadn't seen him for quite a long time, but he came by and bought a bottle of gin and some cigarettes.
What kind of cigarettes?
Wings, I think. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. It couldn't have been Harry Linton who held up the bank. A respectable citizen like he is wouldn't be mixed up in a thing like this.
I know that. Just happens that he's the only one I remember because I hadn't seen him around for a long time.
I understand he's been living up around Santa Barbara somewhere.
Didn't he go up to Oregon a year or so ago?
That's the fellow. Bought an orange grove up there. Didn't do so well and moved back down to Santa Barbara. Wonder he's still living up there.
Well, I think he had a woman with him in his car. Noticed he drove away in a sedan that was parked out in front.
Probably his wife or his mother, maybe.
Maybe.
She lives close by here somewhere.
Well, there's another suspect gone.
Nobody could ever call Harry a suspect.
No, I guess not. Well, thanks for your help, old man.
Quite welcome.
I'll be looking somewhere else.
Sure.
Looks like your unsolved hunch was right, Bob.
So the case of the bank robbery of the branch bank at Mentor in Colorado and Pasadena was placed in the unsolved file. Occasionally, as criminals of various types were picked up, officers questioned them regarding the bank job, but always without result. Time after time, articles found at the scene of the crime were placed in front of suspects in the hope that some faint sign of recognition would enable the officers on the case to force a confession. But just as often, the exhibits were returned to the files, still unused as evidence. Innumerable checks were made of fingerprints taken from suspects and compared with those found in the bank, the washroom, and on the gin bottle. Always with the same result. The case remained unsolved.
Did you ever see that crowbar before?
No, I don't use no crowbars. I'm a yegg. I knock 'em open.
I don't remember that. That pen and pencil. Ever see it before?
Why, of course not. I never carry such things.
No, afraid you'll soil your fingers.
Oh, don't you talk that way to me.
Go on. Get out of here. You didn't by any chance get that scar on your hand by cutting yourself with a gin bottle?
Nah, I got it from knocking a copper's teeth out. You want me to show you?
Maybe I do.
Now, wait a minute. Don't get sore. I was only kidding. Honest, I was.
Mr. Dietzler, is this the man who held up your bank last March?
I don't think so. No, I'm sure he's not the man. This man is shorter. His hair is darker.
Thanks, Mr. Dietzler. That's plenty.
Well, I'll keep my eyes open, Lieutenant. If I see the bandit, I'll let you know.
Thanks. You'll do that.
One crisp day in January, months after the holdup, a customer enters a cleaning shop next door to the bank.
Well, 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 well. Good morning, Grady, my boy. How's old man Grisham today, eh?
Oh, I'll get by.
Has my suit ready yet?
Yeah, I just finished pressing it.
Okay, mind if I change into it here? I'm on my way to lunch with the girlfriend.
No, go right back there.
Yeah, what's on your mind, Grady, my boy? You keep looking out in the street.
I'm watching a bird out front. He's been hanging around here for a couple of days. Looks suspicious to me.
Oh, he's probably one of those movie guys. They're going to shoot a picture here someday this week.
That's so? I hadn't heard about it. Well, I guess that's it. He keeps driving by in an old car, and then he'll walk past here and on by the bank. Keeps looking in the bank windows. I thought maybe he was that guy that held up the bank last year.
Oh, bank bandits never come back to the scene of their crime. That's murderers you're thinking about. You know, lightning never strikes twice the same place, Grady.
Maybe not, but I ain't heard that criminals don't return.
Well, maybe you've got something there, Grady, my boy, but I don't know what it is. Well, I'm going back to the bank. So long, Grady.
So long. See you next week.
Well, good morning, Mr. Dietzler. Had any holdups lately?
No, thank the Lord. I spent too much time over at the police department trying to identify the last bandit we had in here.
You know, I was just talking to Grady Grisham next door. He's been worrying about that fellow standing out there on the curb. Says he's been around here for a day or two now.
Where?
Right there, just outside left window.
Joe, come here a minute.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dietzler. What?
Look, outside the window there. See that man?
That's him. That's the one that held us up.
Call the police. I'll watch him. Tell him to hurry.
Let me out of here. I don't want to be here if he comes in.
No, you stay inside. There may be shooting. He might see you anyway.
They're on the way. I got O'Rourke and Norton by accident.
Now, you go on back to your desk and act as if nothing had happened. Maybe you won't come in before the police get here.
Looks like it's taken them a long time to get here. What do you expect them to do? Fly?
Well, I hope they don't come blowing that siren. It might scare him away.
Well, I'd just as soon have them chase him somewhere else.
I hear a siren.
Say, maybe that bird isn't a bandit. He doesn't seem to mind the siren.
Look, he sees the car.
Well, it stopped right in front of him.
I hope he doesn't start shooting.
Why don't you yell at the cops, huh?
That's the man, officer. That man right there.
He's running across the street. Stop him.
Hey, you, stop.
I'll stop you if you come a step closer.
Oh, yes?
I warned you.
Let him have it, Bud.
Who is it, Bob? You know him?
Can you tie that? It's Harry Linton.
How did you travel to the scene of your vacation? By rail, by boat, or by airplane? Well, no matter which it was, the chances are you arrived at your destination safely and punctually because your traveling companion was Sinclair Motor Oils. Yes, it's true. No less than 150 airlines, flying fields, and airplane manufacturers, great fleets of ships, and 52 railway systems have thoughtfully assigned to these really superior lubricants the vitally important duty of getting there on time with a minimum of wear and tear on their respective motors. Officials of these companies have selected Sinclair Motor Oils after putting them to every conceivable test. The terrific heat and continuously high speeds for hours on end, under which ordinary oils give up the ghost. These finer lubricants do not break down. Sinclair Motor Oils are refined by a patented Sinclair process which eliminates those two highway robbers of motor efficiency, petroleum jelly and wax. If your vacation is still in the offing, or you're planning a weekend jaunt in your car, you will, of course, Sinclairize for safety before leaving. Let the experience of airlines, steamship, and railroad executives, together with millions of motorists in 45 nations of the world, be your guide. Before you set out on that vacation, treat your motor to a refill of Sinclair Opaline at only 25 cents a quart. The same Rio Grande dealer who gives your automobile police car performance with Rio Grande cracked gasoline will Sinclairize it for safety with a crankcase full of the smoother, tougher oil that everyone is talking about. Sinclair. And now again we hear Chief C.H. Kelly of the Pasadena Police Department. Chief Kelly.
Thus did one of Pasadena's respected former citizens meet death at the hands of a police officer seeking to arrest an identified bank bandit, a death which a coroner's jury found to be justifiable homicide. Letters found on the dead man revealed a well-laid plan to commit suicide. Whether he had intended doing this if his planned hold-up should fail, or whether he tricked the officers into carrying out his scheme, no one will ever know. It is sufficient to know that his crime did not pay.
Thank you, Chief Kelly.
Pasadena Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. A cancellation broadcast 196 regarding a bank robbery. Suspect in this case shot by officers while resisting arrest. And that's all.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande. Calling all cars, a copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 197. Be on the lookout for a banknote issued by the Bank of England. This is a £1 note that was stolen by bank bandits who held up the Belvedere branch of the Security First National Bank at 8:30 a.m. this day. These men are armed and dangerous. That's all. Rosencliff.
Several millions of girls and boys will return to school in the next 2 weeks to study what may be briefly summed up as the great truths discovered by others, to learn to apply in their own lives the thoughts, discoveries, and experience of those who have specialized in their respective fields. It is this same fundamental principle of education, this desire to profit by the experience of others, which is the guiding light of the business world. Be guided, then, by the significant fact that the officials of 30 leading cities and counties throughout California have specified the exclusive use of a certain product. That more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other special equipment are powered by Rio Grande cracked gasoline wherever it is sold than any other brand. We invite you to study this fact, learn its truth for yourself, and then, profiting by the experience of others, apply it to the life of your own motor. Give your automobile the police car performance it deserves by consistently using Rio Grande cracked. The experience of those who drive the most is that it has the takeoff of a China Clipper, the pickup of a modern machine gun, and the long mileage, abundant reserve power, and hurricane speed which police demand in their emergency driving. Last year, your California emergency equipment drove over 55 million miles in the greatest proof of gasoline superiority ever made for Western motorists. Buy your gasoline intelligently, logically. Get police car performance for your car at no greater cost when you pull into your Rio Grande dealers tomorrow morning. The facts regarding the case you are to hear tonight were taken in the main from the confidential files of the police department. And we have therefore asked Captain C.B. Horrell, acting night chief of police, to prepare a foreword for our program. Captain Horrell.
Good evening, friends. Bank robbery is at once the most dangerous and the most lucrative of criminal activities. The criminal strikes with suddenness, and his apprehension is one of the most difficult tasks facing a peace officer. Only in rare cases are police informed of a contemplated bank robbery in time to prevent its consummation. There is, however, one fundamental fact that sooner or later, though it may be months or years, every criminal is eventually brought to justice and made to realize that however lucrative his crime appeared to be at the time, it nevertheless failed to pay. A few facts proving this point will be reserved for the end of the program.
Just as the sun was beginning to redden the August sky, a bakery wagon pulled to a stop in front of a store on Whittier Boulevard. Two men left the driver's seat and, climbing into the apparently empty truck, closed the doors.
I feel like Simple Simon, sitting around here in a pie wagon.
Yeah, I'd hate to tell you what you look like.
Always full of wit and humor, ain't you, pal?
Shut up and keep your eye glued to that peephole.
Think anybody comes to this place this early?
That's what we're here to find out.
It's too dark to see much.
Well, we can see when anybody goes inside.
Any idea how many people work there?
Hey, what do you think I fixed up this here truck for? We're going to case this joint till we find out how many work there.
And when we find that out?
We'll take the joint.
How much do you think there is in there?
Enough to last us as long as we live.
That'd be an awful lot.
Don't worry, it's there all right. Quiet. There goes an old lady into the place.
Yeah, I see her. She's got a key.
She's going inside. And probably the scrub woman. Oh, I see. They got the grill behind them, eh?
Yeah, cautious, ain't they?
Stop saying ain't.
Oh, what are you so grouchy about this morning? Jane throw you out last night?
Pipe down. How long's that dame been in there?
5 minutes about.
Here comes somebody else. Nope. He passed it up.
He don't work there.
How do you know?
I ain't never seen him when I went in there.
Don't say that.
Ain't. Yeah, I know.
Listen, how many people have you seen in there?
Oh, I'd say 8 or 10.
Any place to put that many people?
Sure, lots of room.
Here comes 2 men.
Yeah, that's a guy named Johnson on the right. I don't know the other one.
Are you sure this job is as easy as you said it was?
Ah, it's a pipe. All you do is saw.
Yeah, here comes another guy. That's 3 men and the old lady, huh?
Yeah, it leaves another man and a couple of dames.
I don't like to work a job like this where there's dames. You never can tell what they'll do in a pinch.
Yeah, you can't tell no other time, neither.
Hey, look. I think it'd be a good idea for you to get in there when the place opens up and get the names of the guys what works there. Then we can figure out the best time.
Okay. I'll come back about noon. I'll find out from the teller I always talk to.
Well, don't rouse their suspicions, none.
Don't worry about that angle.
Let's scram. We'll come back tomorrow morning.
Geez, I hate to get up this early.
You're too lazy. Someday you're going to be where you'll have to get up. How'd you like that?
Still scared to do this job?
Me scared? Hey, listen, punk, I don't know the meaning of the word.
Well, stick around. You'll learn it.
Did you get that list?
Yeah, right here.
Well, we're going to put down the time when these guys get going to work, see? I check up on that armored truck, and it gets here on the 14th and on the 30th.
Yeah, and we get in on the 31st. Is that it?
Yeah, you guessed it.
That's Monday.
Yeah, day after tomorrow.
You got all the stuff ready?
Yep, it's in an ash.
Well, what plates are we using?
The ones we got from that guy up in Stockton.
I'll never forget his face when we took that car away from him.
Yeah? And he'll probably never forget yours when you lost that there handkerchief.
Oh, he didn't see me much.
You're going to flash that pan of yours once too often. Somebody's going to recognize you someday.
I'll take care of me.
Yeah, maybe.
On the morning of August 31st, 1931, Joseph Fisher was walking along Arizona Street near Whittier Boulevard when from a dark area away between two buildings came a peculiar sound. He stopped and listened.
All right, kid. What's so interesting around here at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Huh? Oh, I was just going home.
Yeah? You don't happen to live in this building, do you?
Oh, no, sir.
All right, then you've seen too much. Come on back here.
Well, what are you going to do with me?
We'll decide that later. Go on, get back in there.
Well, what's the idea of bringing that mug back here?
He's seen too much.
What are you going to do with him?
I'll keep him back here in the dark till you get that bar sawed, if you ever do.
Yeah, so you're getting smart again, huh?
No, I'm just tired of waiting.
Well, it's about through now. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, good. All right, kid. Come on, you're going inside.
Oh, now listen, mister. I don't want to get mixed up in this.
You ain't mixed up in nothing.
What did I tell you about that there ain't?
Oh, forget it. Come on, kid, climb through this window. No, what the devil's wrong with you?
I fell over a trash can.
That kid's going to get us into trouble yet.
Never mind, Hen. Give me a hand
If
here.
you weren't so fat, you wouldn't have so much trouble getting through the windows.
Yeah. And if you didn't talk so much, you'd be better off, too. I still don't see why we couldn't stick this joint up in the daytime.
Because, you dope, we can get more this way.
All right, watch out for that can.
One move, and I'm going to jump down.
Now, let's turn on the light.
Get away from there, you hophead. You want every copper in town to be rushing in here?
Oh, nuts. Who's going to see it?
Listen, you're one man on this job, see? You do as I tell you or else.
Else what?
You haven't forgotten that bank messenger, have you? He started an argument, too.
Keep quiet, you sap. You want this kid to get the lowdown on that job?
All right, let's get busy. Hey, where's that there basin bit?
Right here. Where you going to bore the holes?
And this is petition. In boot 1.
Oh, will you be able to see the lobby from here?
Yeah, all of it.
Say, this is the bank. You guys ain't going to hold it up, are you?
Don't say you ain't.
Well, are you?
What do you think?
I think you are.
Right. Tie him up, Jim. Throw him at their washroom.
Hey, now, wait a minute. You don't have to tie me up. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, we'll still tie you up, see? Get that wire, Jim.
All right, kid. Keep still now.
Ow. Don't get it so tight.
I'm not hurting you. Pipe down. You got them holes bored yet, Jack?
Yeah.
Well, what now?
Oh, we just wait here till they come in. Then we start entertaining them.
What time is it?
6:10.
woman ought to be getting here in a minute.
Quiet. Somebody's at the front door.
Let me see. Yeah, that's the janitress.
Okay. Get up there and meet her.
All right. Better take a look at that kid. Okay, lady. Just come on in and don't make no noise.
What is this? Who are you?
Answering an order, a stick up, and none of your business. Close that door.
Yes, sir.
All right, now go on and get to work. Act like nothing was wrong, see? If anybody comes, you keep quiet.
But my daughter's coming by here in a few minutes. She's going to help me this morning.
Well, when she comes, let her in. If you're trying any funny stuff, I'll let you have it.
Oh, I won't do anything I oughtn't.
Where are you going?
I'm just going to pick up this paper here on the floor. Oh, it's wood. Shavings. Oh!
What's the matter with you?
Oh, those eyes. They're looking right at me.
Of course they are. That's my partner in there. He's inside that booth. Now, look, you. Get busy, see? And don't be yelling your head off again.
Yes, sir. I guess I'll just sweep out the lobby.
Go ahead. Who's that?
That's my daughter. She...
Let her in.
What's the matter, Mom? Say, who's this guy?
Settle down, sister. This is a holdup, see? You want to be quiet or we got to tie you up?
You're not going to tie me up. I'll really raise a rumpus if you try to.
How about it, Jack?
Nice to her. Tell her to keep quiet and get to work.
Say, you can't talk to me that way.
That's what you think. Shut up and go to work.
You can't boss me around. I ain't
Don't say you ain't. Go on and get to work.
You heard him. Better get started.
Phooey on him.
Hey, get those front blinds down, Jim.
Let them down, you.
Yes, sir.
Make it snappy.
Okay, get the other one down.
Oh, but so we never...
Get it down. I don't want any signals around here. Okay. Now, listen, you stick around. You might as well settle now, because we got a long wait, see? We're staying here till the manager comes, so just relax.
One by one, the employees of the bank came to work. As each one entered the door, he was met with the calm but dangerously resolute Wilson. Each person was taken to a booth in the rear of the bank and kept prisoner. At 8:03, the manager of the bank arrived.
Good morning, Mrs. Clyburn. Good morning, Effie. Nice to see you all this bright summer morning.
It's cloudy.
Oh, yes, so it is, so it is. I hadn't noticed.
How did you like the rain yesterday?
Rain? Rain? Oh, it didn't rain yesterday, Effie.
Didn't it?
What's wrong with you, Effie? You too, Mrs. Clyburn. You both act peculiar.
Yeah, perhaps I can explain it. This is a hold-up.
A what?
A hold-up. We've been expecting you, see? Won't you come in here this way, back this way, and open the vault?
Man, you can't get away with this.
That's a matter of opinion. Now, if you'll just open that vault, we'll be on our way.
Oh, very well, only...
Wait a minute. Are there any burglar alarms attached to that vault?
Well, no, none at all. The siren outside is all we have.
Yeah, so I figured. Okay, get started.
Let's see. 3 times right to 46. Left twice to 50. Back right to...
No, stop your muttering and get it open.
Now, don't be nervous. It'll be open in a moment. Ah, there we are.
All right. Now open up them money boxes.
I can't. I haven't any keys.
Listen, don't hand me that. Get them open.
But I'm telling you the truth. Here, you take these keys and try them yourself.
Who's got the key?
Well, each teller has his own key.
Okay. Hey, Jim, send in those tellers out here in pairs.
Okay. Come on, you birds. Get going.
All right, I'm going.
All right, come on. Get in there and open those boxes and then get out.
Of course, yes. Yes, sir.
Make it snappy. All right, get back in the booth. Hey, 2 more, Jim.
Okay. You two, get going.
Yes, sir, all right. Good morning. You boys must have worked in a bank before.
Yeah, maybe. Get in there and unlock your box.
Yes, are you going to take all of it?
And how? Hey, put it in this here suitcase.
Came prepared, didn't you?
We're always prepared, see, punk? Get busy and stop gabbing.
Yes. Well, there she is. All of it.
Hey, Jim, bring in that gang and put them in here.
The woman, too?
I said all of them.
Okay. Come on, you mugs. You too, lady. Hurry it up.
The rush, mister. You've been here all morning.
That's why we want to get started.
Somebody in this bank has cold hands.
Okay. Shut that inside door and go get the car.
John's going to shut the big all right?
Sure, why not?
Oh, it's suffocating.
So what?
Well, I think you'll find it a little difficult. You see, I threw the tumblers again. Force of habit, you know.
Yeah? If I thought you did that on purpose, I'd slug you.
Oh, you can't. We're locked in, and you haven't got a key.
Listen, wise guy, I'm scrambling now, see? Make one move before I get going and I'll burn you, get me? I'll send somebody around to let you out.
Oh, don't bother. We'll make out. Williams, spring that lock.
Yes, sir.
Johnson, get my gun. See if you can get a shot at them. Freeland, trip that siren. I'll try to see which way they went. Effie, hold the police.
The alarm was spread. Police and sheriff's deputies began arriving with the carload. Every road was blockaded. The manhunt was on. Telegraph wires and teletype circuits burned with descriptions of the men. Highway patrolmen checked car after car. License plates from every stolen car on the police records were checked against those seen on the bandit car. But no trace of the criminals was found. The getaway car was found, abandoned, with evidence that the bandits were clever men. No fingerprints had been left. A week passed. While the sheriff's office was checking every available lead, the Los Angeles police were endeavoring to connect the bandits with known criminals. Then one day, in the office of Captain McCaleb of the robbery detail...
Captain, we got that girl outside. The one we think is tied up with that Dukeman gang. The one who shot that market messenger.
Oh, all right. Bring her in, Tucker. You know, I've got a hunch about that girl.
Come in here, will you, miss? Captain McCaleb, this is, what did you say your name was?
I didn't. Doesn't make it Jane Rowe. That's as good as any.
All right, sit down. We'd like to ask you a few questions about some of your associates.
You haven't anything on me.
Now, let's not begin on that key. We know what we've got on you. But we're more interested in what we've got on some of the people you know. Roy Wilson, for instance.
I don't know any Roy Wilson.
Make it Gant, then. Roy Gant.
I still don't know him.
You don't know Emmett Perkins either, do you?
I don't know anybody.
Mm-hmm. I see you're going to be a little difficult. Now, maybe if I tell you a few things, you'll feel different.
You'll get nothing out of me,
Well,
copper.
maybe. But if I was a girl, and a fellow was giving me the runaround, I'd do something about it.
Say, what are you driving at?
Oh, nothing. You wouldn't be interested in it anyway. You don't know either of the people involved, either Perkins or Wilson. So why waste time?
Maybe it isn't a waste of time.
Well, what else could it be? Why should I take up my time telling you what I know about Perkins chiseling if you don't even know the guy?
Who says he's chiseling?
I do. I happen to know that he's been spending money like a drunken sailor on a girl, and it isn't you.
If I thought you were telling the truth,
You'd what?
Well, I'd spill what I know about him.
Oh, so you do know him.
I didn't say that. I do happen to know where he got that money.
He got it from that market messenger that was shot last May, didn't he?
Market messenger. That's rich. You think he shot that guy? He hasn't got nerve enough to shoot anybody. He's just a big bluff. He got that money from that Belvedere Garden bank holdup last week.
What?
Sure. He stuck up that bank. Emmett and Roy Gant. You call him Wilson. They pulled that job. Why should I cover up for him, the rats? I stick to that bird through all the time he's rotting in Folsom. And this is the thanks I get. He robbed a bank and spends the dough on some other dame. Well, he can't do that to me. I'll give him something else to think about. Look, Copper, let me out of here, and I'll show you where that money's buried, at least as near as I can.
You'll show us?
I'll show you as near as I can. You drive me out to the L.A. riverbed near the stockyard. I'll show you how to find that money.
Tucker, get Beeson and Graham. Tell them to meet me at the L.A. stockyards. Right. Get some iron rods about 5 feet long. Tell Molina and Anderson to bring the car around. We'll take this girl out there and see if she's telling the truth.
This is the place right here.
Oh, how could anybody hide money on a street?
No, it isn't hidden here. This is where they parked when they brought me out here. They told me to wait right here. They were gone about 2 minutes and came back with a handful of money.
Yeah? Which way did they go when they left you?
Down toward the riverbed.
Okay. Beeson, you and Graham take these rods and start out on the left there.
Yes, sir.
Punch them down in every spot that's been dug up recently till you find that money. Molina, you and Tucker work straight ahead here.
All right, Captain.
I'll take the right side. Now, don't pass up a spot.
Okay.
Found anything yet?
Not yet.
I'll keep punching. Hey, boys, I've got a bite.
Find it?
I think so. Bring that shovel.
Yes, sir. I was beginning to think we'd been given a bum steer.
No, sir, I'm pretty sure this is it. Listen.
Sounds like a box, all right.
Yeah. Let's dig it up. Yes, sir, that's it.
Wonder how much is in it.
Yeah, we'll know in a minute.
Oh, it's fastened with wire. Say, that's the same kind of wire we found in the bank and in the car the bandits used.
Well, looks like the girlfriend gave us the right tip.
Ye gods, I didn't know there was that much money in the world.
I still don't believe there is.
How much you say is there?
At least 20,000.
What are we going to do with it?
We're going to take it in and give it to Parker. We'll let him worry about taking care of it.
Say, you think we can get that girl to put the finger on Wilson and Perkins?
I've got a hunch that we can. Anyway, we're going to try that right now.
You suppose she's still waiting for us?
Yeah. She won't go far if she does decide to leave.
I don't know. I had a hard time catching her in the first place.
She's there all right, waiting patiently.
Well, anyway, waiting.
Well, I see you found it, boys. What next?
You're going to show us where your boyfriend hangs out.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. You knew too much about this job. I've got to hold you from now on. You're not going to run out on us now, lady.
Say, what are you trying to do? Get me rubbed out?
Who's going to rub you out?
Emmett's gang.
You mean Dean Dutchman's gang, don't you?
I mean Emmett Perkins' gang. They're tough, I tell you.
Yeah, so I've heard. Come on now, stop stalling. Where does Perkins live?
If I tell you, will you give me a chance to get away before you take him?
Sure, why not?
All right. Drive out to 73rd and Central. He lives in a house next to the corner. If there's a bed sheet hanging on the porch, he won't be there.
What's the bed sheet for?
His mother watches for cops. If she sees anybody acting suspiciously, she hangs out a sheet. Emmett sees it and stays away.
Thanks, lady. We'll watch for it. Oh, Clyde, let me out at this corner.
Yes, sir.
I'll get Beeson and Graham and go on out to 73rd. You take the girl back to the office and come on out.
Okay, Captain. See you later.
Hurry back.
What's up, Chief? We saw Clyde stop.
Have you got the Tommy gun?
Yeah?
Well, let's get out to 73rd and Central. Don't stop until I tell you to.
Okay.
All right, take it easy now. Uh-oh, there's a bed sheet. I wonder what dumb cop's hanging around here.
What are you mumbling about a bed sheet?
That bed sheet hanging on the porch of that house down there. That means that our man won't be home. Wait a minute. Take it slow now.
Is this the place where Perkins and Wilson hang out?
Yeah, the 5th house down the street there.
Hey, look. Somebody's taking that sheet down.
Get set for some action, boys. If Perkins comes along, we're going to take him.
Nothing could please me better.
Watch it. Here comes a new car. Looks like it might be the boys we want.
Did right well by themselves, didn't they?
They're the ones, all right. Let's get them. So they want to play tag, do they? Give her the gun, Beeson.
This is all she's got.
Well, here's where we take a tire over that hack.
You got the tank, but not the tire.
Well, we'll try it again.
Look at that baby travel.
You can gain another 50 feet on him. I think I can do it.
Well, here's all she's able to do, Cap.
Hold her steady.
Yeah, looks like they're going to fight back. Any of it get you, Cap?
No, but I'm going to give them something to think about. I'm going to take out that window.
Yeah, must have discouraged them. They're stopping.
I'll get set to rush 'em, boys.
Right.
All right, you monkeys, reach for it. Get Wilson, Graham. Beeson, you take Perkins.
Okay.
Come on, get out of that car.
Come on, get
Keep
out.
your hands where I can see them.
Yeah, you're making a mistake, Copper. I'll get you for this.
That's what they all say, buddy, and I'm still here. And I'll be here when and if you ever get out of jail. Look me up sometime.
If it's true what they say in the song, the merry-go-round broke down, then merry-go-round managers should have taken the tip of millions of motorists throughout the world. Followed the example of the managers of 52 railway systems, 150 major airlines, airports, and airplane plants, all of whom say, we use Sinclair motor oils exclusively because they do not break down. Sinclair stands up under the most punishing tests of extreme heat and excessive speeds. because those two arch foes of motor efficiency, petroleum jelly and wax, have been entirely removed by a patented Sinclair process. And so, friends, take your car out of the merry-go-round class. Sinclairize for safety by asking for Sinclair Opaline at only 25 cents a quart the next time you drive into your Rio Grande dealers for a refill. Better do it tomorrow morning when you wheel in for a tank full of Rio Grande cracked gasoline. And while there, be sure to ask for your free copy of the September issue of Calling All Cars News, just off the press. Read the thrilling and true story of the War on Dope by Captain Chitwood. Striking mystery and detective stories. Pictures galore. Up-to-the-minute news of your radio and screen favorites. More of those intriguing brain befuddlers. It's waiting for you at your Rio Grande dealers, where motorists wise Sinclairize for safety with Sinclair motor oils and stock their automobiles with police car performance, the ruling favorite of those who demand the best, and get it with Rio Grande cracked gasoline. And now, once more, Captain Horrell.
A check of the records of Wilson, known to the police as Roy Gant, and that of Perkins, disclosed that both were hardened criminals. Their friendship had originated while both were inmates of San Quentin Penitentiary, and both were on parole from that institution at the time of the bank robbery. Wilson and Perkins were identified on 2 theater holdups and several other burglaries, and were brought to trial on February the 2nd, 1932. After 5 days' trial, they changed their pleas to guilty and were sentenced to Folsom Penitentiary. Definitely, their life of crime did not pay.
Thank you, Captain Horrell.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. The cancellation of broadcast 197 regarding a bank robbery. Suspects in this case are now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande.